Greetings, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. This is my very first digital Bring It In. This is something that we talked about when we were doing the election campaign and after the elections, and again at Wolf's Cry. I'm gonna try and do these videos every couple of weeks in order to help keep everybody informed and connected throughout the kingdom. It's a huge priority for me, and hopefully it's something that you find a lot of value in. We have a lot of stuff to talk about since this is our first digital Bring It In. And so I won't waste too much time and we'll get right to it. So first things first, the state fair, it's over and it was awesome. Amtgard did a great job. They represented really, really well, and we had a pretty successful event. So I'd like to thank everybody who took the time out of their busy lives to come and make that a successful event. Specifically, I'd like to give a huge thank you to Richter. He was the Autocrat of the event, and he put in a lot of hours and a lot of hard work to make sure that event happened. Hars put a ton of effort into coordinating the schedule and making sure that there was coverage everywhere and reminding people to show up, so thank you, Hars. We had, I know Hunter and Oz put a ton of time in behind the scenes to get everything ready. Ravenstone in general, you guys were awesome in making sure that we were adequately staffed and that that we looked good and that Amtgard was well represented, so thank you very much. We had folks travel in from all across the state, and so I mean I can't name off all of the names because there were so many people that helped out, but if you helped out, thank you very much. And I'd like to give a very special thank you to Midnight Sun, who not only volunteered to help, but she volunteered to help at times when there wasn't anybody else available. And so she spent entire shifts alone by herself at the booth without being able to leave in order to make sure that we had coverage. So thank you, Midnight Sun, for that. That was awesome of you. And for everybody that helped with the state fair, boom, finger guns. You guys were awesome, and I really appreciate it. We would not have been able to do it without you. The next thing we got going on, now that the state fair is over, is Food Fight. So what is Food Fight? The Amtgard Food Fight is a program or initiative or drive that has been happening in Amtgard for several years now. And this happens Amtgard-wide, so across the country, all of the kingdoms of Amtgard are working to raise money to acquire food or other food like things and to provide volunteer hours to the organizations whose primary goal or mission is to provide food and other similar necessities to people in our community who really need it. We have raised I'm pretty sure more than $1 million worth of food and money and time over the last few years to support these kinds of projects, and it's a really powerful way for us to give back to the community, and it's an easy thing to be involved in. Now Mara is in charge of Food Fight for our kingdom, and she got a silent auction going. Hopefully some of you guys have seen the flurry of posts about that and the excitement surrounding it, so that's fantastic. I know she's got some other programs set up, but there's lots that we can do. So Mara's our primary point of contact, so if you have any ideas on how we can either 1, raise money, 2, raise food, or 3, volunteer to help. If we can do all of that on behalf of a local food bank or similar organization, talk to Mara about it, and then get with those organizations and see what we can get done. So if you want to coordinate with your local food bank or something similar, please feel free to do so. Just let Mara know so that we get credit for it and we can report it accurately to the national campaign. It's pretty easy to do, and it has a huge impact to people who really need it. It happens all through the month of September, which is historically sort of like a dead period for those kinds of organizations where they don't get the support that they need from the community. Most people wait until like late October or early November to start giving food and money, and unfortunately these organizations need it earlier than that in order to provide food for people during the wintertime. So jump on board, help out. Let's show everybody that Amtgard supports its community. At the end of the month, End of September here, we've got Senshi Con, which is a huge nerd fest, when we love that, for all of our members. We have a booth that's going to be set up there. It's going to be a smaller booth, doesn't need a lot of manpower, nothing like the state fair. But one of the things that you can do if you're not helping directly with the booth, if you plan on attending Senshi Con, get people over to that booth. Find your friends who might be interested in AmpGuard, who are also, at the convention. Get them to come over. Get them to fill out the contact form and let us give them some information on how to get involved in AmpGuard. And help from the crowd, kind of be a plant almost. And help with that, because we can do a lot of recruiting at events where the audience is almost 100% our demographic, right? It's the people that would really get a kick out of AmpGuard. So our cosplayers and just our general nerds. Let's get out there and show them AmpGuards around and let them know what sort of value our organization can offer them. We're going to be going indoors soon. That's a big thing for us. When we make that transition, usually schedules get upheaved a little bit. Time when we meet for AmpGuard is going to change. The location where we meet for AmpGuard is going to change. So please stay tuned to your Facebook pages and listen to what your officers are saying, when you meet regularly. And pay attention to our calendar. Our regents are working hard to keep that up to date and accurate so that you will know what's going on. Where's our calendar? That's a great question. If you go to www.akampguard.com, right there, the calendar is embedded in our page, but you can also click on it to go to that calendar. It's a Google calendar, so you can actually sync it with your phone if you want to, and then you'll never miss anything. So I recommend you do that. That's how I stay on top of all the AmpGuard events that are going on. Your Council of Crowns has been meeting pretty regularly and talking about all kinds of stuff. And we broadcast those meetings live for everyone to pay attention to. So I hope you guys are paying attention to that. We make the announcements on our Facebook page. And we are trying to keep those meetings on the calendar and as up to date as possible. We're going to start meeting. We were meeting on Wednesdays, but due to some schedule shifts as we roll into fall here, we're going to change those meetings to Sundays at 8 p.m. It won't be every Sunday. It'll be every other Sunday for right now. So pay attention to the calendar so you don't miss out. We want you to be there. I want you to be listening to those meetings. I want you to be messaging your local monarch to talk about any ideas or suggestions or thoughts you have on the topics that we're discussing. It's important to me that you have a voice in what we're doing. So that's your chance, and that's your opportunity to get in there and make your voice heard. Two big projects that your Council of Crowns is currently working on is the 501c3. We're putting the finishing touches on the application for that, and that should be going out soon. So hopefully I'll have some more information to give you in the very near future about that. And we're about to start writing the budget, which we have to present to you guys in January. So we're going to make an annual budget. We're going to try a couple of different approaches this year. So stay tuned to that. And if you have thoughts or suggestions on budgetary matters, please let your local monarch know so he can bring those to the table. Let's talk about our map campaign a little bit. So one of the things that I spaced out on, because I do that sometimes, at Wolf's Cry was announcing the winners of last reign's map campaign. And I feel very bad about that. So I'm going to do it now. We had 5 winners. We had over 50 people participate in the map campaign. I think it might have gotten up to about 70 actually. And the top 5 players were given prizes. And so the top 5 players, in no particular order, were Sparky, Foxpaws, Mara, Deli, and Arthas. So fantastic job. You guys kicked butt in the map campaign. You managed to capture lots of territories and smite all who opposed you. So your reward for your excellent performance in the map campaign is that we will be naming map features after you. So, for example, there's a Foxpaws Forest now on the map, which you guys will be able to see when you click the link below. There is the Turtle Coast for Delhi. There is the Bay of Arthas for Arthas. There is the Falls Mountain Range, and I don't remember exactly what we gave to Sparky, but it will be on the map campaign. You can check it out by clicking the link below, and I'll have that ready for you when I post this. So congratulations, everybody. Those will become permanent parts of the map, and you will live on in history for as long as we have a map. So, one of the things you'll also notice on our map campaign, or on the map that I'm posting below, is a bunch of red skulls and arrows. Those represent the evil forces of the orcs that have invaded Northreach and that you guys have been fighting for the last couple of weeks. So we're going to be posting updates on where those forces are, and the victories and defeats that you guys win or suffer will affect how the map campaign turns out. So currently, the orc and goblin forces have completely taken, I believe it's Armadas Island, which is to the north on the eastern seaboard there, and from there they are launching invasions into all parts of the eastern coast. So every region is at risk, and hopefully you will be able to muster the forces necessary to repel this invasion. Otherwise, we'll have to say hello to our new green-skinned overlords. So get out there and fight. I have recently posted rules for the Guild Relic, for those of you guys who are paying attention to the Facebook page. I didn't just post the Guild Relics that are currently in play, but I posted all of the Guild Relic variations so that you guys will have that for the future. So right now, there are two versions of the Guild Relic in play because we had a tie at Guild Wars this year. The healers have the Rod of Healing, which is a cool, fancy, nifty little rod that allows them to cast Heal and Resurrect at range. And then the scouts have the Cowl of Invisibility, which gives them the power to disappear and move around. So be on the lookout for that. Those will be on the field throughout the kingdom over the next year. So yay, fun stuff there. Which brings me to another topic. Now that Northreach is a kingdom, we have the honor and the obligation of awarding the artifacts from the rules of play to members of our kingdom. So we're going to be planning some ways to hand out those relics in the very near future. So stay tuned so that you can, I don't know, figure out how to get your hands on one of these fantastic items of power. Currently, the only item that's been given out is the Nuntius Staff, which was given to the team that won Dungeon Crawl last year. You can definitely expect to see some more relics being won at Dungeon Crawl. The rules for that will be posted sometime in the near future. But that's a really cool way to get yourself involved and build a team and maybe capture some relics and get out there and then use those on the field. Speaking of Dungeon Crawl, I'm actually looking for some help. Northreach, I need some of you to help me and the rest of the kingdom get some stuff done. You have a host of officers who all work their butt off every day to make sure the day-to-day stuff happens. But we have special stuff going on that that we really need your help to make sure is successful. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Dungeon Crawl. We need somebody who's willing to Autocrat Dungeon Crawl. And so I'm looking for volunteers, but I'm not looking for volunteers for not just Autocrat. We're going to split it up a little bit this year. We're looking for we're looking for an Autocrat, we're looking for a Dungeon Crat, and we're looking for a Party Crat. Okay? So the Dungeon Crat would be in charge of the dungeon. That part is pretty self-explanatory. They would be in charge of all the stuff that happens there. The Party Crat would be in charge of everything that happens at the hotel. So that would include things like booking the hotel, getting food and feast area set up so that the Kingdom Regent is able to do the feast, and to just make sure everybody has a really good time at the hotel and be responsible for that and our point of contact for all of those things. The Autocrat's job would be to coordinate all of those efforts, to manage the budget, and make sure everybody's doing their job and take ultimate responsibility for what's happening. So I'm going to post some details to the forums this week. Be on the lookout for that if you're interested in doing any of those things. The Council of Crowns and myself will select the Autocrat, and then with input from the Autocrat, we will then select the other crats. So jump in and help out with that. The next thing that I'm looking for is Northreach needs a rules representative for the Antgard-wide Rules Committee. Every kingdom gets one rules rep, and that person's job is to represent the kingdom and our input and perspective and wants and desires and goals and all of that when it comes to upcoming rules changes or clarifications. So it's kind of a neat job. It doesn't always require a ton of time, but it does require a little bit of knowledge and the ability to be available for not just communicating online, but for being present at Gathering of the Clans in July. The rules representative is allowed to have a seat at the Circle of Monarchs table and help advise their king or queen on rules issues and all of that stuff. So that's something that I'm looking for, a position that I'm looking to fill. So if you're interested in that, or if you have more questions about it, comment below or just shoot me a message, and I will help clarify any of your questions. I'm hoping to appoint somebody by the end of September. So you've got a little bit of time to figure it out. And yeah, if you're interested in that, please just maybe write me a short summary of why you're interested, what you feel your qualifications are, and I'll take it from there. So yeah, so if you're interested in that, let me know. The next thing is I'm looking for two, I don't know if autocrat's the right word, but we've had we do a couple different things up here that some of our members really enjoy. One of them is jugging, and the other one is Phoenix League, which I introduced last rain, and it's the both of those are really cool activities within Amtgard that some of our members would really like to see happen. So what I'm kind of looking for is somebody who would be interested in managing a jugging league or a Phoenix League. So if you would be interested in putting together and organizing the efforts of the kingdom for jugging or Phoenix League, please shoot me a message or comment below, and we can start a conversation on that, because I think I would like to see some of that going during the wintertime, and hopefully we can find someone who'd be willing to take that on and make it happen. So Northreach, those are all of the topics that I have for you tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just thoughts about what's going on in your kingdom, please let me or your local monarch know so that we can answer your questions, incorporate your ideas, or address your concerns. That's our job. That's what we want to do, and we need your help to make that happen. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you on the field.